Hi, this is Jim Jeffries. I'm here with Eddie Ift and Jason Hour. Say hello, Jason.
Hello.
Shut up. Now, me and Eddie are organising a charity gig at the Improv on January 29th, and the charity is called, Eddie?
Australia's Really Down Under.
And if you didn't get it from the title of the show, Australia has had some extraordinarily big floods, and we would like to raise some money. All proceeds from the show will go directly to cleaning up properties in Australia. And this,
It's a real charity. The Queensland Premier's flood relief plan.
it's an actual thing. We're not pocketing anything.
No, so...
And it's important to help these people out. This is actually bigger than Hurricane Katrina. More people's houses have been ruined. And it's much better charity than, say, giving money to Haiti, where their houses weren't nice to begin with. So it's January 29th at the Melrose Improv. And it'll be me, Eddie, Will Anderson for all the Australian fans out there, and a special guest to be announced. Check out our Facebook pages.
And it's also, you can get tickets at improv.com or laughstub.com.
Enjoy the podcast.
Two douchebags on a couch. One's an asshole, one's a grouch. And relentless, all their mouths. Jim and Eddie. Talk shit. Jim and Eddie. Talk shit. Jim and Eddie.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Jim and Eddie Talking Shit. This is Jim Jeffries. I'm here, of course, with Eddie Ift, and Jason is also here. Hello,
Yeah,
Eddie.
Jason is here. I'm here. We've got a guest tonight. We've got Brian Callen sitting in.
Brian Callen.
That's Lindsay in the room. Lindsay, our producer slash intern, or
God,
intern slash producer, I like to call her.
He's totally taller in person. Thanks, Lindsay. I appreciate that. This is Brian Callen.
Machete's here too, Brian. This is our sound man.
I pronounce it machete, but that's because I speak Spanish. Doesn't matter.
Yeah. More sensitive to their needs.
There you go.
And Lindsay has a fine set of breasts, if you haven't noticed.
I'm not mad at him at all. I'm not afraid of curvy women. I appreciate
A
that.
curvy woman.
Her breasts
right.
are here with us tonight.
Speaking of
The
curvy
horizontal
women, how are you
stripes.
tonight, Jason?
What's that?
Speaking of curvy women, how are you tonight? I had to repeat my joke twice because you're a fucking moron. Now, come on.
Thanks.
Can I say that Jason tonight is wearing his Jim Jeffries t-shirt?
I gave it to him once because I had a box. So this is what happened, right? I bought a whole lot of T-shirts to sell to merchandise at gigs. It's just a picture of me and it says Jim Jeffries on it. And it turns out that I have a lot of fans who are medium sized, but I was left with a lot of fat sizes, just extra large ones, really small and really fat. Most of my fans are a medium based thing. So I have one for every day for Jason to wear, and he wears it down at the coffee shop. Do you ever get any anyone has recognized me off the T-shirt or anything like that? Have you ever had one positive thing?
No.
No. Okay. All right.
Well, then you're wearing it wrong.
You're wearing it wrong. You gotta.
wear it differently.
Does anyone
Actually-
just go to you, who is this psycho on your t-shirt? Because you do look psychotic on the shirt.
Yeah.
Well, there's like 25 T-shirt shops in Venice, so people might be just kind of jaded towards
God, that's
them in
not the
general
fucking
around here.
question, Jason.
That was really
That's
a
not
bad
the
answer.
question.
That was-
No.
I'm sorry, but it's true though. Like people don't look at the T-shirts around here. I don't think they care.
Actually, guys,
I don't know.
Guys definitely don't. Like, if you ask a guy what color he wore yesterday or what he even wore yesterday, most of the time you draw a blank.
But if it's Jason, if you ask him what he wore yesterday, it's easy because it's the same thing you had on
It's-
today.
What he wore yesterday.
It's the JJ.
He looks down. He goes this, but slightly whiter.
There you go.
Jason, how long have you had that outfit on?
2 days.
Okay, and you're not high tonight.
No.
What are you?
I have a little bit of a buzz
From what?
from whiskey.
You see,
Where were you drinking?
When were you drinking
But
whiskey?
you know what? Venice allows you to do that. It's funny because the weather, it's always 75 and breezy, and you're right next to the beach, and you can just stroll to the coffee shop in your Crocs or even bare feet, and that's what happens in Venice. You start, kind of just developing.
It's like you're on holiday all the
Barn-
time.
Well, it is a holiday.
Yeah.
It is.
Always.
It started for you 5 years ago.
Started for your wife 7 years ago.
My friend said that to me. He came to be an actor, and he goes, "I came here to be." He was telling this younger actor. He said, "Don't screw around, man. I came here to be an actor in 1979. That was 3 months ago, bro."
I was gigging. I don't know when this is going out, but I was gigging in Brea on the weekend, and Jason came along to see me, and he came along with a date of sorts.
Well, I guess it wasn't really.
It wasn't really a date.
You thought it was a date. She didn't think it was a date.
Maybe I was just.
Now,
hoping
if
it
you
was
if you
to be
remember from a
honest, I
couple of
don't know. I mean,
episodes, Jason had been seeing a girl who was a psychiatrist, And Jason thought this was dating, and he was just a project for her. Like she brought like 2 other fucking retards, like this gay guy that was twitching a lot, and this bloke with a beard who wouldn't shut up, who was giving me conspiracy theories.
Wait,
And she brought Jason.
Did they come in a bus?
Yeah,
and
that
she
was the
sat
whole
in
thing.
the front?
When she rocked up with a bus to your house, didn't that have alarm bells for you dumb prick?
Did she really pick you up in a bus?
No.
He went on a date with this
But
girl.
I
This is
think-
true. He went on a date with her. He came home from the date and goes, "Hey, by the way, guys, I don't have fetal alcohol syndrome." And I go, "What? How do you know?" He goes, "My date told me I don't." Who asks a date?
Because she measured your hands.
And I will say this in case
knows,
you-
he knows.
She measured your hands in relation to your cranium circumference.
In case she's listening, she's a very nice girl. I met her. She's smoking hot, like hot, right? And that was enough to tell
well, from
that
what
she
I-
wasn't into you, right? That must have been
but
more.
Jason plays the guitar, right? So you know.
No, I think the
Yeah, it hasn't
term's
really
the
worked
retard. Jason plays the retard.
But if you can play the guitar, you could have a hoof and a horn. And some
No,
girls-
he's the only guy
No.
that plays guitar that it doesn't get him laid.
Yeah.
Because he's like Rain Man when he starts playing and he ignores everything.
Oh, you fall into your.
he starts playing guitar to women and then yelling at them, "You'll never be as good at this as me." Like he's quite passionate about how talented he is.
Jason plays guitar. Girls get naked. He doesn't even see it because he's so into it. And they put their clothes on and just leave.
But wait, I haven't finished the story, right? So we go out on this date. She's smoking hot. They come to my show. Did you have a good time at the show?
It was fantastic.
Thank you. What bit did you enjoy the most?
All of them.
Let's see. What did you do? That
And who got your drinks comped?
You did.
I
Jim.
did. You had a free ride, and you didn't even say
he
thank
drinks
you.
a shitload, doesn't he, when you give him free stuff?
Oh yeah, but his date was just drinking coffee because she was trying to stay alert because she's
she
with the
was
nut
working.
jobs.
She didn't want to
Yeah.
get. She didn't want to get date raped.
Actually, those coffee drinks were strong.
Yeah, she put a bit of liqueur in it. She had to get through the date. I'm not, she's not a fucking saint. Anyway, so afterwards we're chatting with her. We go to a bar next door and we're sitting around having a drink, and I go, "She's quite hot." And what did you say to me? "Don't steal her from me." Like he said it. He said it was
Hold on. 1 second. You and I talked
steal
about this yesterday. He said to me, he told me the story, and he goes, "We can't talk about this on the podcast." I go, "Why not?" He goes, "It's too mean to Jason." First thing you fucking bring it up.
I had a block when this podcast started of things to talk about. And so my brain was just going, don't talk about how that woman who likes retards didn't like Jason.
Well, no, I mean, I came to the conclusion myself that she just collects crazies.
Oh,
That
yeah.
was one of
But
her
so
toys.
what?
Like,
I can't stand that shit. That's called a varsity cock tease. What did she do? Like what was the point? Did she give you any kind of an opening, or she just wanted you to come
yeah,
along?
I asked her out to go to eat a while back, and we went out and we had a good time, and I treated. So I thought that's
Whoa.
Right. This
You
can't.
treated? Where did you take her?
We went to a Mediterranean place.
The dumpster behind the Mediterranean
Yeah.
place or the actual Mediterranean place?
Are you low? Are you low on funds? You got money?
He wears
I'm
a
pretty
Jim
broke
Jeffries
generally. So
t-shirt.
me taking someone out to dinner is a pretty big deal. Like that's a lot of work.
Like that was 3 months ago when he had that date, and he saved up again for this next date.
Exactly.
Where he took her where everything was free.
Yeah.
And she drove you, didn't she?
How old,
No,
how
one
old
of those
is,
other
how old
guys
is this
did.
chick?
It's 26,
Yeah,
27.
it's hard. As soon as they start reaching that 30 mark, then the whole starving artist thing gets old for them. They're just looking for stability. You know what I mean?
So who do you think? What age should Jason shoot for?
I would start combing the high schools and see how that.
Yeah.
Little Dudley Dawson action.
That's all.
What does
What was
that mean?
fucking reference?
Who's Dudley Dawson?
Booger.
What?
What?
Revenge of the Nerds.
Revenge of the
Combing
Nerds.
the
It's
high
a 30
schools.
year old reference, but the point is,
yeah, I know.
Combing the high schools. Booger. Come on.
It's a 30-year-old
it's
reference.
amazing. And the guy was like, number 8 on the call sheet.
Yeah,
man. It's amazing.
I like how Jason's like, Revenge of the Nerds, that reality program.
He couldn't believe none of us knew it.
I know, like, duh. Revenge of the Nerds,
Brian,
you
you
idiot.
knew it. You knew what I meant.
How many Revenge of the Nerds movie was that guy in?
All of them.
See, not the one. Oh no, he was the one that was in all of them.
Even
I saw him on the
even
beach.
the new
He
one.
saw him on the
He
beach
actually
once and I
works.
called him Booger.
He actually works a lot. He was in Ray. He played Ray's like manager or whatever. Remember? He was
Oh, Ray. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the blind guy
Jamie
beat his
Foxx.
wife.
Okay,
Yeah.
Yeah, heroin addict.
That's right.
Yeah, but everyone always sort of talks about him. So this is my bet that I have at the moment. I reckon if you go down to a bookies, and I'm probably blowing it for myself, Marlon Wayans has been cast in the Richard Pryor movie. Now this is already known.
He's playing Richard.
He's playing Richard Pryor, and I think maybe the same guy who did Ray is doing it. If you nail that part, right, you have to play a fucking someone who freebase fucking drugs and someone with Parkinson's and a comedian, and there's going to be some sort of domestic violence scene or something like that in the film.
You better get
if
the
you
Academy.
nail that part, you'll get the Academy Award. I reckon you go to a bookies now and ask for Marlon Wayans, Best Actor, 2013. What odds do you reckon you'd get?
You know, I'm gonna go with. It's. I've never seen. He was in Requiem for a Dream. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a good actor.
He's a good actor.
He wasn't bad in that.
Yeah.
You know, it all depends. I mean, I watched. Did you see Christian Bale in The Fighter?
Yeah, but it's a different year. They're not competing.
No. I'm just saying that you know, some people decide. I don't know if he's got that in him.
Yeah.
Because I mean, if you play Richard Pryor, like you said, you got to hit the whole rainbow, man. That's not easy.
Yeah.
Have you seen The King of California?
No.
There was an Academy Award-winning part in that film. There was a guy who plays the Costco employee who loads a refrigerator into a truck.
He had some lines, but it was cut out.
Yeah, they were 5 lines apparently,
Really?
and they were all cut out. And he does a really good smile to camera.
Yeah.
And you can find it on IMDb as he's listed as Costco employee 1 or 2.
I don't know if there was a number. I don't know.
Look at Brian's face when he turned around and went,
We didn't
Jason.
we didn't believe him one night. He told us he was in a movie, so we get it up on Netflix. We find the movie. Sure enough, there he is out there fucking putting a refrigerator in a car. And you know what? He's like a featured extra. He looks right at the camera and smiles.
I don't know about that.
Dude, my buddy who's now doing really well as an actor, he had this really big part in Minority Report, and he goes, I got this huge part, and it's just unbelievable, man. I was like, whoa, and he was there for 3 months shooting everything. I was like, dude, this is it, this is the move. And we went and saw the movie, and the director decided to take the story in a different turn. So my buddy's watching it, and he goes like this. 10 minutes in the movie, my buddy, he's got his whole family there and everything, and he goes like this. He goes, oh no. Because he knew. And for 3 months of shooting, you see him in a helmet. And this, I'm not exaggerating, he's in a helmet. They're chasing. He's in a helmet, and he leans over a banister and looks, and you just get like kind of a half profile, and that's it. Not even a full frontal face shot. It was and that happened to Adrian Brody.
I have a question. Can we talk to this guy
Because
because we want to find out who the barrister or barista on the set was, because we know a guy that used to be the barista for. Oh, we can't talk about it.
I was never, and this is like the.
Yeah.
I was never his barista.
You were.
You know what though? I actually
told us
spent
you-
some time with him.
I've never said that I was his barista.
Who?
The only major celebrities
Say
that.
his name.
Oh, I served Christopher Lloyd, John Favreau.
But
I
you won't
served Terry
say. But you
Hatcher. I
won't say.
served.
He won't
All right,
say
tell
his name.
your Terry Hatcher story.
He won't say Tom
All right,
Cruise.
Terry Hatcher story. I was
Here we
working
go.
on Desperate Housewives.
Here we go.
We set up on the Warner backlot where they got like the fake suburb
Yeah, yeah.
neighborhood up there.
Yeah.
I set up back there. It was the day that she did the nude scene where she was in the bushes.
I
in
don't
front of
watch the
house.
show. I
When
don't
you were
watch
in the
the show.
bushes
Well, that was a
masturbating.
big deal, I think, back then.
How many men in this room do you
anyways-
think watch Desperate Housewives?
It's the greatest.
If I want to
So-
see a nude scene, I'll watch
anyways,
porn.
the
You
big- the big
repressed
story-
freak.
I got a red tube. Go on.
The
I'm
big
sorry.
story is that she didn't know what to drink, and I talked her into getting something really decadent, and she thought it was awesome, and gave me a hug and a kiss on the cheek.
And that's the big story.
And I made her
I wouldn't
drink
wanna hear
and
the
we
little
talked
story.
for a minute, and she went back to work. You
There you
know,
go.
but that
Now did give you a hug and a kiss?
I never met that guy. I never worked for that guy.
You did. You said it on the first episode.
And
Why
then-
won't you say his name?
Someone
You won't
said
say his
it
name.
about my CV, and it was a
Wait,
misunderstanding.
why won't you say his name?
He can't because he's contracted not to mention
I'm
who he
not
did it for.
contracted
Although
not
he
to
those
say
a
his
Terry
name.
Hatcher story out there like it's fucking nobody's
you'll
business.
Throw Terry Hatcher and Christopher Lloyd,
you know
but you
what?
won't say.
That
say
was
it.
exciting.
Say his
I
name.
mean-
Say his name.
I don't want to.
He
He
won't
can't because
say
he
it.
signed a contract because
Why
he made
would- I
coffee
didn't-
for and he'll never admit it again.
Why
But when
would you
we're
say,
off
why
air,
would you say his
I
name?
don't want to say it.
It's so weird. And he's a nice guy, actually. I did a reading with him, and then I was at this ridiculous party.
Oh, you told me this story.
Yeah, and he was there, and I spent like about 4 hours with him, and we talked about wrestling. He used to wrestle and all that. And
I'll bet he did.
he's actually
Still does.
And but the thing is, and then I was at the party, and we ended up just talking, for probably like an hour or something like that and he's the kind of guy, you start talking to that dude, nobody else is in the room. That dude zeroes in on you. He's so hyper present, it's crazy. But I got to tell you, he's a really nice guy. Like I talk to a lot of people who know him really well, and they're like, he's the nicest man in the world. I'm like, yeah, but what about all the stories? He goes, he's the nicest man in the world, and so I think a lot of it's just rumor, man.
Jason, is he a nice guy?
Everybody that worked with him at the company.
I thought you said you didn't work. You didn't serve him coffee.
I never worked for him ever. I worked on a lot of other sets.
Who?
But this other kid,
Who?
this kid
Who are you
Ryan,
talking
Who are
about?
you talking about?
that actor.
Oh man, what?
He's been contracted. He will never say the name.
Well, I actually wasn't contracted, but now it's fun to just not say it.
Okay.
All right.
Just
now you're
talk, and while you're talking, I'll do this behind you. Dun, 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 dun. Da-da-da. Anyway, come on. Tell us.
Oh, well, they just said he was really nice. Like he brought this one.
What
kid,
about all the
that,
Scientology things?
You know that
I don't know,
movie
man.
Last Samurai.
Yeah.
This is what Tom Cruise does. This is how he this. Oh, I fucking said it. Oh well.
Oh well, you'll never barista again.
It's like your
But
N-word.
what he does, this is really cool, is all the movies that, like, at least at that time that I'd been in that company, he brings on a barista full-time all day long to make lattes, chais, anything for the whole cast and crew all day long. He pays that guy. Those guys get like $50 an hour, and they get per diems, and they travel with this. And like he spends a lot of money to do this for his crews, man. And that's pretty nice.
How does he afford it?
I don't know.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
He must be a nice guy, because when he divorced Nicole Kidman, there was a little bit of a feel in Australia that, how could he do that to our Nicole, right?
Please.
And he was
that's
like the
That's
son-in-law.
the ice lady, bro. I
know, but then over time, even now Australians, she seems like a bitch, doesn't she?
Oh, man, she
She's
just
nice.
seems like the ice lady.
far as I
don't
can
know.
tell.
How can she had 2 adopted kids with Tom Cruise, right? And now she has like another baby, and it's like you read an article, she's there going, it's just so wonderful to be a mum.
She said she doesn't have a relationship apparently with those kids.
Yeah.
It's like,
she doesn't even have a relationship. Like you were
she's
fucking their
bro,
adopted
she's
mother
the,
for
she's the
years.
ice queen, man. I got nothing for her.
Yeah,
I've never found her attractive at all.
At all.
You'll
I don't find
fucking
her-
milky.
I
gross.
don't find her
hate
attractive
that
at all. I don't
when
find
the
her attractive.
media tells me what good looking is.
I agree.
I fucking
I
Uma
agree.
Thurman. Stop putting her in movies and telling me she's hot, right? She's hot.
No.
The one where she played a superhero.
Oh.
She walks into a train carriage and everyone's like, "Oh my god, that's the hottest." She's looked like she's held a vacuum to her face for too long, and it's all sort of slightly pugged forward.
I said that
You just
when, I
said
saw, when,
pugged
I,
forward.
when I saw Batman, what is it, Batman Begins, or what's the really good one?
Batman Begins.
Batman Begins was the
No, the real good one with the Joker with Heath Ledger.
yeah. When I
That's
saw
The
that
Dark
movie,
Knight.
that movie was the best movie I'd seen in so long, and it was 99%. 1% of it was ruined because Maggie Gyllenhaal looks like a Down syndrome girl in that fucking film. And it's like, why would Batman, the coolest man ever? And I used to do a bit on stage where I said, he shows how great he is, that not only can he bang like supermodels, but he's such a good guy that he fucks a Down syndrome girl.
Well, it's like they wanted to show that he's into a girl's mind. What a bore. I like sluts.
Well, you know, that's the bit you got
Give
to
me
drag,
Rose.
right?
Give
You
me
gotta-
Rose McGowan over
do you
a PhD any fucking.
Oh, well,
yeah.
I like the look of porn stars. That's what I've
Me
always
too.
been into. Porn
Me too.
stars. And people always go, "Oh, they look like such sluts." I'm like,
Yeah,
uh-huh.
that's
Yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
right. That's what I like. That's what I get attached to. That's what I get involved in and moving in my house. How about that? You keep your fucking nice girls. I want a girl with a drug problem and
I don't think
huge
I
daddy
don't
issues.
think I've ever wanked off to what these classically called good-looking people.
I haven't either. Never
a
found it.
supermodel, nothing like
Keep
that.
it. You can keep all
I
that
tell you
shit.
this one story because I've been I don't know if I told this before in the thing, but I've been masturbating since I was a small child.
He masturbates every single day. He hasn't missed a day in how many years?
Since I was 7.
Yeah.
I haven't missed a day.
He's
Not one day.
hypersexual.
Not one day, and I'm including 24-hour flights to Australia. I knock one out in the toilet to help me sleep.
That's amazing.
Anyway, not domestic flights. I'm not an animal.
Sure, no.
Anyway, so
I don't like the way Jason's looking at me right now. He has something to say about that. He's very perplexed.
Wait. I got a story. All right, so you know when you were a kid, the only bit of porn you could get. Did I tell you a story before about the women's magazines?
Yeah.
Have I told this one?
Yeah, you told it.
The picture I kept under the bed.
Yeah.
You sure I told it?
I'm positive.
I'm not telling it again.
I haven't heard it.
Well, basically what it was I found a picture of a naked tit, right? And I cut it out of this magazine, and it was in a normal women's magazine, my mum's magazine, and I wanked off to it for 4 years, from about 9 to 13,
You know,
when I found out it was a picture of a woman having a mammogram. Like, I didn't know.
it doesn't matter when you're a boy.
When you're a boy, but it
just a tit is unbelievable. What they're finding with like the prevalence of pornography and how easy it is to watch on the internet, like with like RedTube and all these sites, is obviously 11, 12-year-old boys or even younger are going to these sites and watching them every single day and every chance they can, right?
Sure.
What happens
Which I
is
would have if I
once
had
they
it.
started having sex, it used to be for our generation, we didn't have access to that. Porn was something you'd get once in a while and watch. But, you know, girl took her clothes off. She didn't have to be perfect. She'd just take her clothes off, and you'd be like, "That's a naked girl, man." You weren't even paying attention. My joke is guys. They just need an outline. They can drive by a girl 25 miles an hour and be like, yes, I fucking would. You know, we're not.
I play that game
detail-oriented.
24 hours a day.
Right.
The yes, no.
But boys now are looking
Yes,
at girls
no.
and they're naked. They're going, "Oh, look, you got a dent there." They're so used to having whatever they want, and they're so linear now, and it's making them bored with sex by the time they're 15, which is nuts. Fuck technology.
But it's also, you meet, like, I remember when I'm talking as back far as about 6 or 7 years ago, when I used to have sex with like 18 or 19-year-old girls or 20-year-old girls, it was like, these people don't know what they're doing, right? Yeah. But now go have sex with a 20-year-old, they know what they're fucking doing.
Oh boy, do they ever.
And
I've heard. I'm married. I've heard though that they do. I'm a married man. I would never. I have a child.
Jason had not had sex for how many years?
Oh, what do you mean?
Well, wait. He had a wife for 12 years, and that was the only woman he had sex with for 12 years. And actually, not just the only woman he had sex with for 12 years, but pretty much the only woman he ever had sex, because there were only two in his life.
You were faithful to your wife for 12 years?
Yes.
Yeah,
He didn't have a choice.
No,
she wasn't faithful to him with women. That was the thing. Is she used to have threesomes in front of him where he wasn't allowed to interact.
Really?
Yeah.
Behind my back.
What'd you do? Just sit in a corner and cry and
No,
jerk off?
I was in Vegas at like the tattoo expo.
Oh yeah.
And she hooked up with some like pink mob like dyke that like seriously like major manly woman type, and I was just like, what?
Where were you?
I was a dyke. I thought these were nice looking birds.
No, the one that she messed around with behind my back wasn't.
Yeah.
At all.
See, if a girl
I didn't
bangs
even
another
understand
girl
that
behind your
move,
back,
to
I
be
don't even
honest.
consider cheating. I'd be like, man,
see,
fuck it.
this might be controversial to say this, right? But I think that gay men are actually built that way, and some, not all gay women, but some gay women are like that because just so many men have fucked them over. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like
controversial.
it can be manufactured over time.
Jim,
like
that's the craziest thing you've ever said.
Guys,
You know what I'm saying?
You said on this show, I can't even come unless I punch a girl in the face.
No, that's not true. That's not true. I said it helps me come if I'm allowed to hit them a bit. Like, have you ever like made love to a
If
girl?
I'm allowed to beat them lightly.
No, but the thing is, like,
Ask me that question again.
with making love to a person, I've made love to women, but I've never come during it. I've done that thing where you're looking at each other's eye and go, I love you,
disgusting.
but you do it because they're like, I love you.
What a fucking bore. I want to pull hair and choke. That's
And then
why.
they say, fuck me, you rabbit punch him and you're off.
But
You're back.
that's why you got to date a girl who's like pushing 40, who's athletic, takes care of herself, had her heart broken 200-300 times. That's the kind of girl I relate to. I want a deep, sordid sexual history. Problem with a 20-year-old.
Do you want my ex's number?
The problem with the 20-year-old is that they can't get down and dirty like
I've got a funny story. My ex, who I don't give a fuck what she thinks of me now, but I lived with her for years. She used to like to get choked when I was fucking her, so I really used to dig
Doesn't
it.
every girl you date?
Yeah, I know. Well, that's another story. Right, so I really used to choke the fuck out of this girl, right?
Yeah.
And then she like had bruise marks all around, like like a neck, right?
And the coroner was.
But then her mum is like, I know, I don't trust you. I know, I've seen the bruises on my daughter. And you don't want to go, I've never hit your daughter. She's just a tramp, right? So you have to go, I don't know what you're talking about. You can't explain, oh, your daughter likes it rough, Mrs. I'm sorry.
And
but
a lot of girls do like it rough, man. I mean, that's the only kind of girls I'm interested in.
I like it when, if you ever had that girl who's watched a lot of porn, but it's not really deeply seated into her, but then she'll do things like put 4 fingers up her ass and look back at you like, huh? Huh? What do you think of that?
How about that? I think hepatitis. That's what I think. Clean those fingers, sister.
Well, back to the story of Jason not having sex for how long?
Well,
Once you broke up.
does it count with me?
What? He
No, it's
never can
April-
answer.
What
How
was
many
it?
months?
6.
Okay,
maybe?
so 6 months. He finally had sex again,
Yeah.
and he calls me and he goes, "It's a whole new world out there." He's like, I've been with the same woman for 12 years. Wow, it's crazy out there. And then I go, what? How? Why? What? We did it all night. And I go, really, all night? He goes, yeah, but I didn't come. And I go, why not? He goes, I had to take a shit.
But when you say that you fucked all night, you didn't really fuck all night. You fucked for a little bit and stopped for a long time, then fucked a little bit again. No, you did not fuck all night.
You were in her the entire time.
All right, stand up right now and just thrust your hips like that.
Yeah, I
until
do.
you
Yeah,
go
we want to
side.
see you thrust like you were fucking, like that.
Yeah, just
Let-
do
let-
that.
No, but
Actually, it was more like
I want to see you do.
All right, do that for as long as you
Let me
can.
tell you
God, do we
something.
need
Do that for as long
I
as you
can
can.
do that for hours.
Bro,
All right.
20 minutes is a long time.
I will give you $30 if you do that vigorously for 10 minutes.
By the way, I always say that 20 minutes is a long fucking time if you're really fucking.
Let's
Vigorously-
another point, maybe I'll think about that bet.
You're going to knock back, how much we just offer me? $60.
$60. Get up. Do it.
Right now.
Right now.
10 minutes of
10
Hip thrust.
minutes.
Thrusting,
of hip
we will carry
thrusting.
on. We will come back to you every now and
Yes,
again.
we will talk to you. You can keep the microphone. Just keep thrusting. $60.
$60.
Jason.
10 minutes.
60
$60. You can't
You know,
put
how
a...
many, you know how many dog walks that is for you?
So who's gonna watch and judge me doing?
We're
all
going to
are.
watch. Someone
Just get up and do
time
it. It just went down to $59.
Yeah, your money's going down. $59.
Stand up and do it.
$58.
57.
All right, maybe Jim's right. Okay. Maybe I did like for a little while. Then I stopped, went for a while again, got a breath.
How
All right,
interesting.
leave me alone. Okay.
Jim Jeffries gets to the truth. ladies and
right.
gentlemen.
And what do I win for that? Nothing.
It's so funny. We have to offer him money for everything.
See, the thing is, at the moment now, because we did open the webpage on the last podcast, which is jimandeddy@yahoo.com, if you want to write in. We had some letters in, and people were asking questions. And most questions that are asked of us are questions that are directed at you.
Yeah, they're all questions for you.
All questions for you.
Here's one. I got on Twitter. This question says, if the opportunity arose that Jim's mom would sleep with Jason, would he do it just to claim he has now slept with 3 people?
More you'd do it just to sleep in my gene pool, wouldn't you? So you'd have that little bit of happiness in your life.
Here's another one for you. I want you to answer this.
Yeah. Answer, would you sleep with my mother?
No.
Why
Why
not?
What?
Is it your mother?
I'd sleep with your mother.
I'm not Jim Jeffries.
I wouldn't make love to your mother. Who does Jason have more of a man crush on, you or Jim?
Yeah, who would you show if you had to?
That question was asked twice.
All right, well, let him answer.
I'm
Don't
gonna-
answer another question.
Every day's different. You know, every day's different.
Who would you rather have a friend for life with out of the two of us?
Why do you guys always ask me these horrible
No, because
questions?
if I had to ask,
These are horrible.
if I had to ask out of you and Eddie, I'd pick Eddie. And who would you pick out of me and Jason?
Wait, did you just say you'd rather fuck
No,
me?
out of for friends for the rest of our lives, I'd pick you as friends.
just thought-
And Eddie, who would you pick?
Oh, who I'd rather be friends with?
Yeah.
You.
Yeah, okay. So we pick each other. So you're just along for the ride.
You're alone.
Who do you want?
Yeah.
And knowing that both of us don't want you. Who is it?
You've been rejected by both of us.
Both of us. But you need someone. Where else are you going to fucking sleep and eat? You need someone. Who's going to supply you with Jim Jeffries t-shirts?
I'm gonna go live with Roy in Israel.
Oh, fuck off.
fuck
Listen,
off.
here's
All right, what if you have to
I have a
cross? What if you
friend
have to
out there
cross the
somewhere.
desert? You got to cross the desert, and they both know. They're the only guys who know how to navigate the desert. They got
if
the
I
food.
answer
They
this
got the water.
question,
Who would be the?
It's gonna
no, but
ruin me.
Who would be the
it's
most
never
generous?
gonna go away. It'll always.
No, but who would be
they'll
the
have-
most?
If I
Who
say
would be
him,
the most
Then
generous?
he's hurt. If I say you, he's mad.
The
Like,
whole
I
world's
lose. I
blown
lose.
up.
I
There's
can't
two
answer
houses
that.
left on the world. You got to go live in one of them. Eddie lives in one. I live in the other. Which house do you go
houses,
to?
Equal houses.
Equal size houses.
With a couch in each.
Duke would be welcome in both, but Duke, your dog, died during the Holocaust. Just so you know that you're dogless.
No, he lost.
And
his,
the only other
he lost his
person
legs. He lost his
alive,
legs.
the only other person alive in the wasteland is your ex-wife Angela yelling at you. You have to go in some
And
direction.
She's firing an AK-47, just firing down the line that you have to go under to get to the houses.
Man, that's mean.
Why is this mean?
Because you're making me choose.
Yes, it's Sophie's choice.
Here's
Come on.
another question from Why Am I So Tired? He said, do you think that Jason has a non-sexual man crush on you and Jim, or do you think that it's now sexual?
Jim kissed me once, and you've hugged me.
When did I kiss you?
Before you went to London.
On the neck, though.
Yeah, right here, by my ear.
Yeah, but I was being playful. I didn't fucking shove my tongue down your throat.
On
You
that
gotta-
note, I'm going to say Eddie because Eddie always lets me off the hook, so I'm going to live there. You won't forget anything I do that's wrong.
I won't forget anything that you do.
Any
that's wrong.
mistake, you don't forget anything. If I make one mistake, I'll never get forgiven.
Who yells at you more?
He yells at you.
You yell at me a lot more, but that's kind of like my childhood.
So
it's
you'd
kinda
rather be
comfortable.
yelled at than face up to
Did
your
you get
mistakes.
yelled at a lot as a kid?
Oh yeah.
Why, you had bad parents? Or
They had a bad child.
Oh, Brian, you want to go in?
Stop fucking, I hate how people always
Why
go
would
with
you
a
say
bad
why?
parent.
your parents you had alcohol?
They were good. They were smart.
Oh, that shit. Yeah. That's
His nickname was Letdown. He gives me a horrible look there.
Papa's little disappointment.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. I can't pick between.
His
you guys.
dad
That's
wouldn't
not
even
fair.
molest
That's
him.
not fair to ask you.
He was molested by a babysitter.
I
though.
just
was-
did that to.
He said he had a
I don't
threesome with
know,
two
I don't know.
babysitters.
That's
Didn't you
hot.
have a
No, no.
threesome with two babysitters?
No, wait a minute. May I say it won't be forgotten. You don't think I forget things now? I won't forget that you've chosen Eddie. No, it's fucking
That's
in there.
why I didn't want to do it. That's
Well,
why I don't want to.
You should have stood and air fucked for fucking 10 minutes
Yeah,
and
if
be
you
a
had air
man.
fucked, you wouldn't have to do this.
Not going to Hawaii now.
Yeah, you're not going to Hawaii now.
You were going to take him to Hawaii.
He says that you're going to give him your frequent flyer
No.
points. He's going to come to Hawaii with me for some gigs.
Oh. Go ahead, Jason.
He's really upset now.
Why did you put me in this? Why did you do that?
Dude, just fucking make a choice, please, before I flip out.
I did, and now I'm in deep.
Now he's not
We-
going to Hawaii.
you're not
'cause
going to Hawaii.
I'm not giving you the points now.
You're not going to Hawaii.
Why would you deny my
You
friend here?
can, you can go to fucking Portland with Eddie. Off you go. I'm
You
going to
just
Hawaii.
blew a goddamn Hawaiian vacation.
Yeah.
Yep.
Nah, you're okay.
And we would have fucked all night long. There wouldn't have been a time when it stopped.
Nah.
Even when you got tired after a few seconds, I would have sat on top and ridden you
Fucking ridden you.
with my fucking balls resting in your navel.
Right.
Pretending to be his mum.
Yeah. And then afterwards, when cum was on your forehead, I would have matted it in and gone, Daddy loves you. Daddy didn't mean to be mean to you when you were a kid.
He'd be wearing a daddy mask.
Yeah. I would, and you know what I'd make you do?
No,
Wait
you
a
make
minute.
me wear your mask.
I'd
That's
make
what
you wear
do.
I'd make you wear the Jim Jeffries mask. Someone sent me a mask of my face.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's really
It's
disturbing.
creepy.
It's creepy.
Eddie won't be in the same room as it, but someone sent
That's
it.
when you know you got fans, and somebody like takes the time to make a mask.
They
out
made
of
a
it.
mask of my face.
Jesus.
Where is the mask?
I think we hit it.
Jim's fans are the meanest people in the world. I know this has to be. Actually, I think this might be one of mine. He's from Australia, I think. Thorpey83 wrote, this was a question for you, Jason. Why does he think it's okay to be fat, unemployed, and afraid of females? What is he going to do? Not be a drain on society?
That's not even a question. That's more of a statement.
Yeah, he didn't ask me a question.
That's not.
No, I'm sorry. What is he going to do not to be a drain on society?
I see, Jason. May I add at this point? I said for Eddie not to read that out on over the airwaves.
Yeah, but you also said
because that was in poor taste, and this is the guy you chose.
Do you want to reconsider?
He's really upset tonight.
Do you want to reconsider and try to get your Hawaii trip
so I
back?
can get in trouble with you now?
No, you get to go to Hawaii.
You can go to Hawaii now.
If I choose to live with Jim, I can go to Hawaii.
Yes.
All right, I'm in.
Yeah.
But now I'm not giving you the miles, so
Yeah.
you're not getting the free ticket there.
Someone out there might
Nobody
be
will.
able to help me.
No, yeah, because actually this is going out while I'm in Hawaii. So if anyone is listening and they want to help him out to go to Hawaii, because there's problems. There's floods in Australia. The people in Haiti still haven't rebuilt their houses, but fucking donate money to this fat prick going to Hawaii.
If anyone has a Concorde and can get him there, because this will air and he'll have about 10 minutes.
I'd also like to speak about the floods in Australia. The floods in Australia have actually been more devastating and larger than Hurricane Katrina. Yet I don't feel it's had much media coverage, if at all, in America. And people should donate money for the most part, because these people lived in really nice houses and they're all wrecked. Not like the people in Haiti, where their houses were shit to begin with. These people here have lost these were nice places. These people have lost TVs.
Is this all in Brisbane?
This is all in Brisbane, yeah.
Brisbane. Didn't you say Melbourne's now getting it?
Melbourne is now getting it as well. It's now going down to Victoria through the rivers and stuff. But it's not going to be the same.
Fuck.
But it's like fucking...
It just rains?
I got to go there in a month.
It's just rained and rained. These are places that are normally drought-stricken.
This woman on NPR today was saying that we're due in Los Angeles
For the perfect storm.
For basically that's something bigger than Hurricane Katrina, because in 1860 or whatever it was, or 18 whatever, there was 45 days of straight rain, and the mayor had to take a rowboat to City Hall to do his inauguration or something like that. Could this happen? She goes, well, yes, it is going to happen. It's a question of when, and it could be 100 years from now, it could be 10.
Well, they reckon that within our lifetimes, so Jason, that's like 5 years, that there's going... the look he gave me.
Don't be sad. We're just
don't be
fucking
sad. We're really
with
having
you.
fun with you.
You always try to make me choose. Always. Who likes you more?
You're still thinking about that.
Who feeds you? Who does this? Who does that?
I think someone's having a flashback to their childhood.
We're like divorced
Fuck yeah.
parents.
Yeah.
We're divorced
We're not
parents.
going to ever leave you. We're just saying if it came to it.
And
I'm
I
trying
think
to buy my
you're
own.
kind of like a permanent member of the podcast, it sounds like.
Yeah, and the truth is, if
I didn't think
Jim,
we were talking about the podcast. I thought we were talking about life.
we were.
Yeah,
and
you're not
talking
to,
about
you're not to
life.
choose
You're telling me
either of
who
us
I
in life.
chose.
You're a grown man.
And after the apocalypse, to be with forever.
I wouldn't
Jason.
take it that seriously.
Yeah, if
No, he
if
does.
Jim and
He's
I
upset.
were to break up, like, and the show would go in different direction, whatever, or he would move out.
Hey, man,
and
don't
there-
even say that.
If there was a custody battle, there wouldn't be.
Yeah,
we
from
would just
now
let
on,
you go.
from
Both
now
of
on,
us
we're
would.
calling you
Hey,
Yoko.
we never looked into the.
They would
uncle
set
thing.
you free, bro. They throw you.
Oh
from the
yeah,
nest.
he's still.
We never looked into the uncle.
We were gonna.
law.
Tell him what we were gonna do.
Well, I'm sure he might actually back me up on this.
Okay.
You know
I doubt
how
it.
laws made when, like, if there needs to be something in society and there isn't a law for it. Basically, what'll happen is someone will act in that way or whatever, and then it'll go to court, and then there's a decision made.
Sure.
Sound variances, et cetera, et cetera. My idea is that Jim,
Yeah.
he was gonna adopt me and he would be my uncle,
Great
like
idea.
a legal uncle.
Now I'm younger
It
than
seems
you.
nurturing. You guys can
Yeah,
have
that would be even more fun.
You guys can have a catch, and he can teach you the ways of the world.
But I don't
you
understand
call him
the
Uncle
purpose,
Jeff?
but why you'd want me to be your uncle. What is
Because
this?
when you're, I think it had something to do with like Lindsay and titwanks and molesting her. It just the uncle word was being thrown around a lot. And
I know Lindsay started calling me
I
Uncle
don't even
Jim.
know how it happened.
Now, did you come to L.A.? Did you grow up in L.A.?
No.
What would you come to L.A. for?
Serial killing.
Hide from warrants.
My college roommate had his own television show.
Megan's Law.
And I was interested in entertainment.
Who was this?
His name is Jason Smith.
Uh-huh.
And he had that. Remember that show Playmakers that was on ESPN
Yeah.
when they're trying to get into dramas?
Yep.
He played the linebacker.
Okay. Now,
He
did
said
you?
that like we all should know. who
You
it is.
and
He remembered?
You set your sights and your goals on acting or music.
Music's my passion.
All right.
Yeah, and he has a band at the moment. He has to bring his lead singer over.
Yeah.
What is
But
the name of your
yesterday-
band, Jim Jeffries? If not, it should be.
He asked me.
That means he's already got the merchandise.
Your lead singer is a bit of a partier, right?
Yeah, he's a little bit
Yeah.
wild.
And didn't like he had a break up the other night or something with his wife or something.
Actually, he took her to the airport this morning.
But what happened? They broke up.
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
they're,
the night I've got to go tape the Showtime show, The Green Room with Paul Provenza. I'm about to leave for the show. I get a text from him going, "Hey, do you mind if I bring my lead singer with me, who's a former addict, and his wife just left him?" Perfect. That's just who I need hanging out with me backstage.
oh, he's a fun guy. He's
Oh, yeah, that'd be really
All smack addicts are fun for a while.
That's exactly who you want with you right
Yeah,
before you
they're-
I
tape
used to
There-
live with
show.
one. She was great.
You actually, I think you'd really like him.
Oh yeah, I would.
I do.
Yeah, just
And what's the name of your band?
Right now, I don't know. We were coming by for the gig that we just booked. We used No Tell Motel.
That's right.
and what? How do you explain your band? Describe them.
It was like a freight train full of demons going through your living room at 15 miles an hour, is I believe what I said.
Yeah, which is nice because he's got the tagline, but not the name of the band yet.
A freight train going through your, like 15 miles per hour through your
it's
living room.
slow and like just dark and
It
it's
sounds,
good.
yeah.
Yeah, crazy. Brian, are you wondering why you showed up tonight?
Oh, I'm loving it. It's been an experience. I appreciate it.
People like it.
Yeah, yeah.
This hasn't been our best episode.
Jason, you didn't even tell how he got recognized.
Oh, we're coming out of the Brea Improv. We're walking along. There's like a German guy who's not just like German. He's like Aryan race German, like
Goose stepping,
goose stepping,
That are your
wearing a
papers?
brown shirt. Yeah.
killing Jewish people, like
Just
German.
machine gunning
Yeah, just
all non-whites in his path.
yeah, exactly. Having sex with black people and then not telling his friends, right? German. And we're walking out of the gig and we're walking down the street, me and Jason, and the German guy goes, "Hey, excuse me, I can't do the impersonation.
Not bad. That's all. That sounds.
Hello, is this Jason?" Like that, right? And Jason turned around and I said, "Yeah, it's Jason." I go, "How do you know it's Jason?" And he goes, "I recognized his voice. I listened from the podcast." Like this, right?
Wow.
And then Jason was like, "No, man, you set this up. Don't do this to me. Don't do this to me." And then the guy's like, "Can I please have a photo with Jason?" Then the guy gets a photo with Jason and not me. He's just come to see my stand-up
What happens,
show,
bro? He starts encroaching.
right? And this was the
He
night.
takes your market
He
share.
would leave us behind too. He would
This-
fucking leave us in his wake.
This was the night that Jason was on the date with a psychiatrist woman where she brought out the other nutcase people, right? And the psychiatrist person took the photo. Now, if you check on my fan page, the German bloke has written a message going, "Hey, I'm the guy who spotted Jason. Is the girl who you were with, is that Lindsay?" And I said, "No, that wasn't Lindsay." And his response was, "Yeah, she didn't look that fat."
They said that to you about you.
Being morbidly obese.
Not morbidly obese.
No, we don't say
just
morbid.
and obese.
We just
you
say
gotta
that,
separate the
we
words.
don't. We say that you have very large breasts and a stomach to match.
After the last podcast that we did, your sister, who had come into town, came into this house after we were packing up, and who was she slightly keen on? Me. The answer's me.
You, yeah.
Your sister fucking loved me.
You just strangled it out of her.
She got nervous when she met me. "Oh, I'm gonna fuck your sister, Lindsay, and it's gonna be
Hey.
horrible.
She went home and she knows it's going to be horrible, so she left early.
Yeah, but he's got gigs
I'm
in
gonna
Boston.
cut her up so bad you're not gonna be able to
Hey.
recognize her."
Where are you? Are you from Boston?
I'm from Massachusetts, yeah. Western
Where?
Mass.
Where?
The Berkshires.
I know the Berkshires.
Yeah,
When I
we're
laugh at
fine.
you when you say shit like that, does that make me an accomplice if it
No,
happens? Okay.
No, because people inherently know that I'm not going to cut Lindsay's sister's face up when I have sex.
Do
with
they?
her. I guess so. I don't.
We should
know.
ask them.
You're not funny, Lindsay.
Your sister was cute though. She is cute.
Thanks.
Yeah, she's a better sort. She's a good sort. Your sister.
She's a better sort.
No, she is. She's a good sort, but she seems a lot more naive than you, doesn't she?
Naive?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a nice girl.
That doesn't mean.
You're-
Naive, yeah. She's never left home. She works on a farm.
Is she a virgin?
No.
Not farm girls never virgin.
No, farm
How,
girls.
how,
they-
how old is she?
She's 21.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, she's
She
21.
likes black men.
Wait-
Oh, it's even hotter.
well,
It's even better.
I don't want to touch you then.
Brian also was in The Hangover 2. We had Brody here a few weeks ago, who was there filming The Hangover 2. Probably had would Brody have a line or two?
I think he did. I think he. I think he said something like "hold it." Honestly, I think that was his.
Brian, you play. What's your character's name?
I own a strip club, and
but are you the same guys?
You're
in
the
Hangover?
same guy from The Hangover.
I basically, but I'm wearing a wig. I can't say too much. But I was like, Todd was like, I want you to do that accent. I don't give a shit. I was like, all right.
In case anyone doesn't know who Brian was in the original Hangover, you were the guy who owned the wedding chapel
Yes.
who was like Eastern European or
Yeah,
something?
I was from Lebanon, so I talk like this.
And by the way, you've I owe you $20.
Why?
Because I was in Vegas this week working, and a guy came up to he bought my CD after the show and asked me to sign it. And after I signed it, he said he was from some other country too, and he goes, "And so are you going to be in Hangover 2 also?"
That's
and I
so
went,
great. It's so great.
"Yeah."
But I don't think you two look alike. I've been told that you do.
We've always been told like we do.
Yeah,
though.
I've had it. I've had it before.
You're a more handsome version of Eddie.
Yeah, Andy's way more successful.
And-
so,
By the way, great teeth.
I'm just older. Thanks. I'm just older.
I always take your compliments when people go, "Oh, you were great on Letterman." I'm like, "Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I felt like it was one of my strong showings."
How did you find Thailand?
Bangkok is, if you're into it's very loud and crowded and hot and dirty. And, if you're into underage sex for $60, then, it's your spot. But the Thai
It helps the economy out there, though.
The Thai people are nice. The Thai people are great. They're some of the nicest people I've ever been around. And, they've never been colonized as a country. I think because they can compromise to anything. They're like,
They love their king.
Yeah, they do.
They fucking love him.
They tell you that they believe their king is a semi-deity. Never say anything bad about the king.
I made a joke. I was on one of their little boats going around, and they take you to the markets and all that type of stuff. And I made some joke about the king, and like one of them, he was about to kick me off the
Yeah,
fucking
they don't.
boat.
He's a deity to them.
They
So
fucking love him.
They pray to him. So if you say that stuff, that's when Thais lose all their sense of humor. Usually they're really, really nice. They're like the sweetest people in the world. You start messing with their king, forget it, man. It's like
They'll have the smallest shack on the side of a river, just made out of fucking twigs and shit. But in there will be the most ornate picture of that guy.
yeah.
Just unbelievable how
Yeah.
much they love him.
He's considered a deity.
Were there guys on the crew and stuff just banging everything? Because
No,
when I went
not
over
really, 'cause you're
when I went
working all
overseas
the
and I
time.
took a film crew, they just fucked every hooker
Oh
they
yeah,
could
yeah.
find.
Well, yeah. There's no doubt that because the thing is, my scenes were in the strip club, the number
okay.
one. And what was funny is that we were doing the scenes, and then these girls are dancing in schoolgirl outfits. And with no underwear, and they have numbers, and and literally you can go, I want that girl, and you pay a bar fine, which is the equivalent of $18, and to take them home for short time, quote unquote, is $60. If you want long time, which is all night, is $120. So you'd get these dudes who never get laid over here. I mean, these these like 60-year-old German tourists who were just with barnacles and just warts on their face, and they'd have like 2 girls at a time. It was the craziest shit I've ever seen.
Jason's really excited. He's thinking, he's going 120. Where could I get 120?
I wouldn't do it in that country. I remember just thinking,
man.
How about our friend Mickey D?
what did Mickey D do?
Mickey D.
Can you tell this story,
Yeah,
man?
fuck yeah. He tells it on stage all the time. Michael
Right.
Dwyer, Mickey D, an Australian comedian, met a family and went up into the hills and lived with this family because he was fucking their daughter.
Yeah.
And they took him in, and they all were calling him Mickey Mau Mau, which he thought it was Mickey Mouse, but it was like Fat Pig or something, and they were all calling him fat ass or something. And but one night he said he met this girl on a moped. She pulled up on a moped, and he jumped on the back of the moped. He had a beer. They went out to the beach. He's drinking his beer. She's blowing him. He said it was like the best blowjob he ever had.
Yep.
He's looking up at the stars. He said he started playing with her tits, and then he went down to
God
to grab her
damn it.
pussy and got
Dude,
the
let me-
cock.
No, I
and
know.
Wait, here's the best part. He goes, and so I finished.
Of course he did.
He goes, I go, why would you? He goes, what? And he goes,
He did. He finished because
he goes,
he's
I
like-
finished. He goes, and then he goes, as soon as I came, he goes, I've never been so manly in my life. He goes, I looked right at it and I go, so how long have you had the tits? And he goes, but then at this point in the story, I'm pretty traumatized because this is one of my close friends. And then he goes, and so I went back the next night and found him.
That's fantastic. He's my new best friend. I'm going to tell you something right now. I'm going to tell you something. I was with Zach and I was with Brody, and we went into this one place where the lady boys are.
Yeah.
You got to go see the lady boys. I'm going to tell you something right now. They were so good looking.
Smoking hot,
And I'm
yeah.
going to tell you right now, I'm a straight man. I'd fuck the shit out of 50% of them without question and brag about it. And
Yeah.
in fact, I said to Brody, I go, Brody, if you were a real man and I'll pay for it, you take that chick home with you right now and at least make out with her and stick your dick in her mouth. And if you don't, you're a fucking yay.
Wait, so did they have their cocks removed?
Yeah. and
Yeah,
they're
yeah, yeah.
Beautiful.
They come to Edinburgh every
And
year.
by the
The
way-
Edinburgh
Oh, I've
Festival.
seen them. I saw them on a float.
The Bangkok
During the
Lady
parade.
Boys. Yeah, they're like famous.
Yeah, and even if you have the dicks are like they're like about the size of my
It's
I
like
mean,
an-
not
it's like a
just
l-
move it to
it's
the
like a long
side.
clit.
Yeah, just put a little fucking leaf over it or
I
something.
find it amazing we've had 8 episodes of this show and we've had at least 6 stories that involve men being sucked off by other men and not knowing it. That's like our go-to of this show.
I had my only experience was I was in a club called USA in New York
Story number
City.
7.
Yep. And I fucking started dancing with this delicious little Latin girl with this braid and these big batty brown eyes and this skin like brown marble, and I'm kicking it with her. We're kissy face, and there were these booths, these like phone booths at USA that were like kind of makeout booths, part of the gimmick.
Right.
And forgive me if it wasn't. I'm almost sure it was USA or something, a club like that. And I take this girl and we start bub smacking deep. I mean, I'm getting down with her. This is my girlfriend, you understand? My girlfriend. We're kissy kiss. And I go, and
I
obviously.
love how you go kissy kissy.
Oh, yeah. No, it's
touch
crazy.
from fucking
I'm just-
smack it, but
Oh, yeah,
kissy,
yeah.
kissy.
No, kissy kiss. And I go south, and I grab trunk, and I go, oh boy, that's a dick. And it's amazing how quickly you react as a straight man when you grab and you go, you know exactly what it is. I went, okay. And she pretended, she pulled back. And
Wait a
so-
minute. You find that amazing that a man would know exactly what a dick feels like?
I just find
How do you go?
my
It's
reaction.
amazing that you just tell right away that it's a penis.
No, but it was like you ever like touch something really hot and you're like, fuck that was fine. It's
What
exactly the
also
same
gets
kind of
me,
thing.
every single time someone tells one of these stories, and it seems that comics have these stories all the time,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Every comic has it. What gets me is, what always the middle bit of the story is, I reach down, I feel a penis.
Yeah.
Don't these fucking chicks with cocks ever think, I should say something?
No, I'll tell you
No,
what.
no,
No. Listen.
Because I kept. What happened was I pulled back and she looked at me and I felt I was like, oh, look at her, she's so embarrassed, and I kept making out with her and for another, I don't know, let's call it for the story a minute, but really probably 20 seconds, but for the story it's a minute. Deep.
Jason's
I go right back into it. Yeah, I'm a fucking man now. And then I fake a stomach ache because I had to get the fuck out of here. There's a rule. There's a 1 minute rule.
yeah.
You make out for more than 1 minute, then you got to start answering the questions.
I think you're making these rules up as you go.
Yeah, you're probably right.
I don't think these are set in stone.
You're probably right.
I was in Vegas.
But what happened when she walked away? What was her reaction? Well, his reaction or whatever?
I said I'll be right back. My stomach, I have an ulcer. I have a really bad ulcer, and I just fucking skedaddled.
Oh, the poor
I
man.
know. I felt bad for her.
There's a transsexual.
Wait. Well, I had the same story, and when he was describing the girl,
Why did we hear it twice? Then?
I'm thinking that.
It's a different story. Sorry.
No. I was in Vegas at my brother's bachelor party, and everybody in the bachelor party went to sleep. And it was about 5 a.m. or 4 a.m, and I went into Club XS. Have you ever been in there?
Yes, I have.
And I walk in, and I see this girl dancing on the pole. They have all these poles around the club. It's not a strip club; it's a nightclub. And this girl's the hottest girl in the club by far. And I was so drunk that I had the confidence. I just walk up to her and I go, I just want you to know you are by far the hottest girl in this place. That's all I want. She goes, you're not so bad yourself. And I was like, what? Like, did she just say this?
Oh,
she goes,
boy.
what are you doing later? And I go, later? It's like 5 a.m. She goes, well, I'm going to eat with my friends. You want to meet up after? I go, absolutely. So I go up to my room and I'm like waiting and I pass out because I was so drunk. And the next day, I have her number. I text her. I'm like, let's get together tonight. So I keep texting her. She's like, we're going to meet at this time. We're going to meet. She never shows up to meet me. So I call her. I go, what the fuck happened? You were supposed to meet me. She goes, you seem like a really nice guy. So I thought I better tell you I'm really a guy. And I went, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you. And she goes, can we still be friends? And I was like, absolutely.
Absolutely.
I've never had a friend like this.
There's this girl who's a stand-up comedian. I won't say her name, but she lives in Manchester in England. Who's used to be a man, so anyone who lives there will know who I'm talking about. But the thing is, she used to work as the bartender in the comedy club, and it was that convincing sex operation that she was giving me a lift home from the comedy club, and I get in the car. And she sort of sits in the car and goes, oh. Right? And I said, what's wrong? She goes, well, I'll be honest with you, I've just had a sex change. And I think one of the best compliments you can give to someone who's had a sex change is, which way? Right? Because I wasn't even sure.
That's a great compliment.
That's a great compliment.
That's actually an amazing compliment. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, which way? And she goes, well, actually, I've just become a woman. And I'm like, well, good for you. And then she went through what happens with the penis being cut and the flaps are being made and the thing and the thing. Right. So anyway, it cuts to I had to do another.
Was there anything about frozen gummy bears?
Now that was on the Friday. On the Sunday, the club had booked me to go off and do a gig for a whole lot of. This sounds like it's made up story, but it's true. Out in a field for a whole lot of amputee and disabled bikers. Right.
Jesus Christ.
Right. I went out and did the gig. This is off the story, but I went out and did the gig. An opening joke, which any comic would do, is, those motorcycles, they cost an arm and a leg. And just a can being thrown and a faint boom.
No, really?
Just in the middle of this field. I haven't even got a stage. Like, I'm just standing on the grass at the same level as them. So anyway.
That's a good joke.
I think it's a good joke, but they weren't as into it. So I'm out there with the transsexual who had just had the operation, and I've been chatting to her more, and she wasn't gay as a man. She was heterosexual. She just felt that she was a woman.
Yeah.
So now she becomes a lesbian. So she has the sex change and becomes a lesbian, right? So this festival, and God bless Britain for the things they do, this had a lap dancing tent.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
Where it was just like a strip club in the middle of the day in a tent with grass on the ground, and you're sitting in one of those plastic school chairs off in a corner, and then some girl in high heels dances on the grass and gives you a lap dance. So I thought, got to be involved with that. So I go in, get myself a lap dance, and then I said, you still like girls? I go, well, as a celebration to you just having your sex change, you ever had a lap dance? And she goes, I've never had a lap dance. I go, well, I'll tell you what, on me. And I just sat back and watched a lap dancer grind on some newly made genitals. And it was quite possibly the funniest thing I've ever seen.
That's amazing.
Like
And all,
by the way,
all I'm
the-
thinking about
and
are those plastic garden chairs. How the legs fold under all the time and you fall.
The phrase of the night is
dip into the mud.
But the phrase of the night is newly made genitals.
Newly made genitals.
I think we found the name of the show. Lindsay likes that.
Newly made genitals.
You just gave Lindsay the name of the show.
And the thing is, I'll get in a bit of flack for that because she now works as a comedian on the circuit. But that's a true story. So I wasn't nasty about it, was I?
No.
Yeah, it was a nice story of giving. That's exactly right, Lindsay.
You know Yoshi.
I do.
Yeah, Yoshi is this comic here in America who he's also a porn editor. And one time I said to Yoshi, I wanted to get him a gig because he's really funny. He's really dark, really funny shit. And he's the guy who had the joke that said, a girl said, aren't you going to use a condom? And he was like, why? I can't get AIDS twice.
Yeah.
That was his joke. He's a really funny guy. Attell takes him. All these guys take him to open for him. So I say to this guy, I want to bring Yoshi with me. He goes, I'm going to need to see a tape. So I go to this how long ago, or a DVD or whatever, and I go, Yoshi, I need a tape or a DVD, whatever it was. He goes, okay. Yoshi, I didn't know, works for a porn company, and he edits porn. So I get a box like a week later. A box comes to the door from Yoshi. I'm like, the fuck is this guy sending me this many, DVDs or tapes? I open it up. It's not just normal porn. It's all tranny porn and like the weirdest fucking things. So after I watched all
Have you ever had a wank to tranny porn though?
No, I couldn't wank to it. It's too creepy. With that
I've
little
watched
pencil
it, but
cock.
I never do. There's one of them that's like really good looking with the cock there, and it's
I can't wank it to a
The
cock.
I
funny
think there was someone on Opie and Anthony who told me that they wanked to it just to give it a go. So I gave it a go, and it just wasn't for me.
Unless the guy's wearing a cowboy hat. But that's where I draw the line.
I used to live in an apartment in New York City with 5 other guys, and it was one of those railroad apartments where the last room
Oh
doesn't
yeah, I
have
know, with all the
windows.
webcams and people pay to watch you.
The last room in the house didn't have any
The
windows.
Sugar House. Yeah, I know. Eddie's Sugar House. Eddie gets
Sugar
up,
House.
showers himself with 4 cocks that come onto the top of his head.
And we called the one room the spank tank because it had a TV with a built-in VCR, and there was always porn in there, and you would just go in and watch.
These are before the days of the internet. Then.
Yeah. And we're going back 12 years, and I would go in this room. All the other guys were like Wall Streeters, and I didn't have a job. I was doing stand-up, so I would go in during the daytime. And but wherever you push play is where the last guy came. So you know exactly, because it's like you always turn it off after you come. So I go in, I hit play, and sure enough, there's a dude fucking another dude in the ass. And I'm like, what the? Like a tranny. Like it's got a vagina and a cock, a hermaphrodite. Sure. That's a hermaphrodite. Sure. And I just go, whoa. So I call my one friend at his office, and he gets all the roommates on conference call. And I go,
wait a minute, you didn't have the internet, but you had a conference call?
Yeah, they worked at fucking Wall Street jobs. They had it all. So we get on a conference call. I'm like, who was the last one in here? Who was the last one in the room? And the one guy goes, I can explain. He's like, I was watching and I didn't know. And I'm like, no. He was like 40 pumps in and the cock was flopping around.
Have you ever had a wank in one of those booths, those peep show booths where the thing slides behind and there's some skanky woman behind the glass?
Careful with the word skanky. Skanky, you say skanky, I say relationship.
I'd like to say no.
So would I. I'd like to say no, but you're damn right I have. I lived in New York in the 90s, bro.
I tell you what, the last
late
time
late
I did
80s
it,
and 90s.
the last
I
time,
think Jim's like the last time I did it.
I've done it like 7 times. In Perth, there used to be a place that was like an Australian dollar, and this was when our economy was bad. You could really fucking,
fantastic.
and you get 60. Now there was one time, and I think it was with Ari Schaefer and Kevin Shea and a few other people. We just finished doing Down and Dirty with Jim Norton, and I had a really good gig. And this is how I got my HBO special. The people there really liked me, and I was feeling really high about my career. So I had to fuck something. So I made them drive around to one of those booths where 7 comics stood on the other side of the glass. The other side of the door.
You just explained your life. I was feeling
life.
really good
His
about
life.
myself, so I had to fuck something.
He just explained life on the fucking road.
I really enjoyed this podcast.
Thanks for having me on, man.
Yeah, you were a good guest.
I do my best.
Do you have anything coming up?
Yeah. I'm doing a show on MTV called Death Valley, which is actually funny.
What is it?
Like he said,
No, it's
this show's
actually good.
No, but
Well,
what I'm
because
doing is actually
shot,
funny.
It's shot like cops, and I play the chief of police, and we kill zombies and vampires and werewolves in the Valley of Los Angeles, and it's actually funny and scary, and I'm really impressed with the episodes. I was like,
Who's making it?
the guy Eric Weinberg, who produced Scrubs, and he's great and he's hilarious, and he knows exactly how to. He just knows funny. And that's so important when you got a showrunner.
Do you
It's
think
funny, man?
Do you
It's
think you
funny.
can get me and Eddie extras as zombies?
I will do whatever I
we'd like
can.
to
We're
play
using
zombies.
stuntmen, man. They're spending more money on this show than they've ever.
Jason
spent.
actually used to be a stuntman. He did a
Yeah,
stunt.
Jason is that man.
What
I
was
will
your stunt
keep
in?
you. I will keep you in mind.
What was your stunt in?
I did that ESPN March Madness commercial. I ran through a tennis court and just like tried to jump the net and just did. It was like about a 3 foot.
He
fall.
wasn't
It was
asked to
good,
do
though. It
the
was full
stomp.
speed
You know when
run,
when
wide.
there's a newsreader and there's some idiot in the background? That's Jason.
Jason, didn't you have an audition where you had to breakdance?
Oh, I had lots of weird auditions.
No, but
like
what was
that,
the
though.
breakdancing audition? What'd you do? What did you breakdance to?
Fart sounds. It's for like full tilt poker or something.
And you guys wonder why China's catching up to us.
That was the actual audition. I mean, I gotta believe it.
What'd you do? What did you do?
I did the worm. That's my go-to.
Okay, look, we got to finish the episode. Can you do a worm for us?
Come on, do a worm.
All right, I'll do a worm.
Let's do a worm. All
I'm
right.
not gonna do 10 minutes.
Now
of
the whole
thrusting,
thing
but-
is, I want you to hold the microphone while you do the worm.
Hold it for the.
No, it'll be funny because you'll hear like a I've hurt myself."
Wait. I've got the fart maker on my phone too, so we'll do that while you do it. Hold on. Get ready.
Stunt,
Yes, stunt.
Do I have to hold? I gotta
Wait.
break this microphone.
Hold it, and then I'll
Will you hold on? Hold on. Don't do it yet. All right.
Don't ruin the t-shirt. I haven't got any more in that size.
stretching.
Were you
right
an
now.
athlete? Were you ever gonna sports?
All right, come on. No, that's only one. Give us like
Come on.
give us like a wave of them.
Come on. One more.
Whoa.
Oh my God.
He's like a
Oh
jungle
my
cat.
God.
Stunts.
All right, I gotta run.
thank you.
I love you guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much, Brian, for being on the show.
Thanks for having me. It was a good
If
time.
you want to listen to us on Stitcher, email us on Jim and Eddie at yahoo.com.
We got a website now. We got a website.
I don't know if the website will be ready. I always find that to be a hollow promise.
Talking shit.
Talking shit. TALKIN-SHIT.com.
And you can find Brian Callen on Facebook. Where else? BrianCallen.com.
BrianCallen.com. If you want to keep up with everything that Jason Hour is doing, just stare at a wall. Thank you very much. Good night.
Thank you.
Talking shit.